Hello, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today we'll be talking about whether you can get banned for game sharing on the Xbox. Before we get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Although many people love to play games on the Xbox, sometimes they want to play games that they didn't purchase. In order to do that, some people will get with their friends and do game sharing. If you've done this in the past, you've probably heard about Xbox banning a lot of people recently and wanted to know if you could be one of the next ones. So, can you get banned for game sharing on the Xbox? Although game sharing sounds like it's illegal and a good way for people to get banned, Microsoft said that they were not going to ban people for game sharing at this time. The only way someone could be banned for game sharing is if the game they download from another account was downloaded illegally and not from the Microsoft server. But why do people game share? Owning an Xbox is a glorious thing for kids and teens and even adults to do. Most extreme gamers have an Xbox or other console to quench their gaming thirst. Of course, this video gaming brand is created and owned by Microsoft, and the original Xbox was released on November 15, 2001 in North America. Since then, a large number of Xbox consoles have been released, with each console having more advanced features than the previous one. The higher resolutions and better games and features are what keep people coming back for the latest and greatest Xbox console. Of course, one downside to every console is that the games are quite expensive, which is why many people try to do game sharing on the Xbox. What is game sharing? As an easy description, game sharing permits the access of your friend's Xbox game library on your own Xbox system. Anyone who is signed into your Xbox account has the ability to access the entire library of digital games that are available on your console. There is a particular setting on the Xbox known as Home Xbox, which makes one system as the primary console, while others can play the games of the console by just signing in. They can then switch the second Xbox to the Home Xbox system to gain access to their friend's library of games. But is game sharing okay morally? Game sharing in a healthy environment, when you are with your friends, would not do anyone any harm. The purpose of the Home Xbox feature is to let you share your games conveniently with your friends and family. This is why there's nothing illegal, and you wouldn't be banned from sharing games using the Home Xbox. There is nothing mentioned under Microsoft Terms of Service that would predict that game sharing is against the company's rules. As of now, that could change in the future. When you're with your friends, just sign in to the Home Xbox with your Microsoft account so that your friends can play along on their console with your games. Once the game is over, just remember to sign off. So what are the steps involved to game share on the Xbox? First, you'll want to find the trusted person with whom you would want to share your digital games. Then you'll want to get their Xbox Live login information so you can safely sign in. Next, you'll need to press the Xbox button on the controller, which will open the guide for you. Then you'll need to scroll over to the player icon and select the icon Add New. You'll get an option to fill in the credentials where you need to input your friend's email address and password that he uses for his Xbox account. Now scroll back to the Account tab and sign into your friend's account if it doesn't sign them in automatically. After logging in successfully, open the guide again by pressing the Xbox button and move on to the Gear tab and select the option of Settings. Then follow this path. Go to General, Personalization, My Home Xbox, then select Make this My Home Xbox. After this is done, you can visit My Games and Apps from your account and home screen, and you'll be able to view and access all the games that your friend's console has. Switch over to the tab of Ready to Install to download the games that you haven't yet downloaded. Your friend should follow the exact same steps to access the games available on your account, so that both of you can game share on Xbox using your own individual accounts. However, there are a few precautionary points that you should keep in mind while game sharing. When you are logging in with your Microsoft account on your friend's Xbox, you're actually giving them access to the saved credentials of your credit cards. So if the person is a stranger that you're game sharing with, They could buy add-ons and games using your credit card, and you would have a bunch of extra charges before you even knew what was happening. One of the easy things that you can do is disable the auto sign-in feature on your Xbox, and never share your credentials with strangers online, no matter which games they say they'll share with you. By logging into your Microsoft account, your friends wouldn't just have access to your games, but they would also have access to all of your home Xbox benefits. Suppose you have Xbox Live Gold. You're actually sharing the benefits with your friends even if you don't want to. So just think before you start the game sharing process with your friends, and make sure that it's actually only people you know, not strangers. The process of game sharing like this is possible only with digital games. If you prefer owning physical copies of the game, then in that case the game sharing process wouldn't work. The physical games will typically come on a disc, and you would have to take those discs over to your friend's house to share them that way. One thing to remember is in the future, Microsoft could block game sharing. So although game sharing is still allowed by Microsoft, that can change any time that they want. So if you're going to purchase a game and one of your friends specifically wants it, you should split the cost of the game in case game sharing is ever banned in the future. Plus, this helps make sure that you and your friend are neither upset that one person always has to buy the games. It's just split. You also want to make sure that you practice the process of game sharing with only the friends you trust, as mentioned earlier. It also helps if you've known them for a very long time, so that way they don't try and steal from you. Do not try and do game sharing with anyone and everyone to try and get cheap games, because it can put your account at risk, and they might also abuse your account by trying to use your stored credit card information. If you are worried about the people you are sharing with stealing your information, you should do the signing in and back out on their console when you're there, so they will not have access to your credit cards or accounts. You will also want to make sure that you're signed out of your account after they have any of the games they want, and you put your console back as the home console. Now that you know it's allowed to game share on the Xbox, you can get with your friends and get some awesome new games. Although it's not a bannable offense right now, Microsoft may change that in the future, so I would recommend paying attention to any rule changes that Microsoft makes in the future. No matter if you game share or not, there is no denying all the fun games that there are for the Xbox platform. And this platform has games that range from being child-friendly all the way to the top shooting games in the world. The Xbox community is great as well, and if you haven't ever played on Xbox Live, it will revolutionize your world. This has been Matt from RetroOnly.com. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, as well as check out our website, RetroOnly.com.